Today's show is brought to you by fan art, because you guys have supported me for a very long time. But is this the end of an era? We'll have to see. YouTube Nation, Manfit TV, aka Me TV, aka the Civil War is on, and I'm donning the shield today because I'm telling you now what these companies have done to divide us. It seems like it is not going to work, at least for this week. Gamers have had it, all right? And EA is one of the main offenders again. And we're going to talk about, but before I get started, I want to say thank you guys for watching the show. Thank you for sending me information. And today's show is brought to you by, because, you know, a lot of you guys was asking me, I mean, seriously, Star Wars Battlefront. A lot of you guys had asked me, I know we just talked about it not too long ago, but was really asking me if I really had the game. I don't know why you would think I didn't have the game, but whatever. All right. Anyways, we need to get into this, so let's start off, all right? So we'll start off with EA as usual, and they're bullshit. That's how we start. So anyways, EA for Mass Effect 3, $870 worth of DLC. You heard me correctly. Now, let's get into this. Because it says, if you want the full game and your full experience, because they're holding back content, all right, they are, you would have to pay for the collector's edition, which is the N7 collector's edition. That is $80. So you would have to pay an extra $20 to get your full version of your game, right, with all the DLC. Now, if you don't, here's what happens, because here are the pre-order bonuses, all right? The AT-12 Raider, which is an Origin pre-order bonus, right? So you have to, because you have to sign up for Origins. What was it? The Chakram Launcher, which you have to play the Kingdoms of Amalur demo, okay? The M55 Argus is a pre-order bonus to select retailers, meaning you have to go different places to get it, all right? Now, you have the N7 Weapons Pack, which is in the N7 Edition bonus, right? You have the N7 Hoodie, which is in the N7, of course, Edition bonus. You also have the N7 Warfare, Gear, which is a pre-order bonus for select retailers. Once again, you have to go wherever you have to go get this stuff. Now, the Reckoner Knight Armor, all right? It says you have to play the Kingdoms of Amalur demo, which, of course, you have to sign up for Origins for that. The Robotic Dog is the N7, Edition bonus, and the Squad Outfit Pack is the N7 Edition bonus. That's all the pre-order bonuses, right? Now, here's the auxiliary purchases. The unannounced price for the iOS game for Mass Effect Infiltrator, which can affect your main game, okay? The $10 Day 1 From Dusk DLC. The $44.99 figurine, which oddly enough now comes with multiplayer unlock DLC. You have the $24.99 for the Art of Mass Effect Universe, which is the book. It says the Collector's Assault Rifle unlock DLC and power up. You got the $80 for 4 Mass Effect 3 toys, slightly randomized multiplayer unlock DLC. Right? You have the $59.99 for the Mass Effect 3 controller. That's right, which Collector's Assault Rifle unlocks power-up and DLC. You have the $209.99 for the Chimera 5.1 headset, right, which gives you the Collector's Assault Rifle unlock DLC and power-up. And the $34.99 for the mousepad, Collector's Assault Rifle, unlock power-up. The $79.99 messenger bag, that's right, for the Collector's Assault Rifle and unlock power-up. The $79.99, I'm sorry, the $24.99 for the iPhone case, that's right, for the Collector's Assault Rifle. Understand it's all the same thing, but they're in different things. The $79.99 one for the mouse, all right, which is Collector's Assault Rifle and power-up. And the $139.99 for the keyboard. That's right, for the Collector's Assault Rifle unlock, DLC, and power-up. So when you're seeing all these things, you're saying, that's a lot of DLC. That's a lot of stuff you can buy. And when you look at it, it's best that maybe I do buy the $80 version, the $80 version to get my full, my full experience. That's what they want you to do. They want to corner the market. That's what they're doing. They're giving you one way and saying, well, if you don't like it this way, we'll give it to you this way in pieces. And then when you get overshadowed by all those prices, you'll say, I have no problem paying for the $80. That's what they're doing, all right? But that's not all right? You have to understand, guys, this is getting worse and worse. The PC version, you PC fans, if you were planning on buying Mass Effect 3 and playing with a game controller, not happening, all right? Mass Effect 3, the PC version, will not support gamepads at all, just to let you guys know, all right? Now, also, here's something that's really weird. EA sends the Mass Effect 3 games with an air balloon. Now, for those who don't know what's going on, I'll explain. All these links are going to be in the info bar for you guys. All right? I'll explain. EA has decided to, to launch a bunch of Mass Effect 3 games, right? And what they're going to do is they're going to put it in an air balloon, a weather balloon, and send it up into space. That's right. They're going to send it up into space. Now, look, it says they will be launching copies of the game into space using weather balloons that will release in New York, San Francisco, Las Vegas, Berlin, London, and Paris. Right, now check this out. Each game has a GPS tracking device on board, and fans can track their return to the Earth of MassEffect.com to find a copy and play it a week or more before the game hits the stores. Now, here's the problem, all right? Because EA likes to talk about used games hurting them, and they're making all this money. You have money to send games into space. Into space. Is anyone still buying these excuses about how it's hurting their money? I mean, really, you're sending games into space. Right? As advertising. You've got to be kidding me. But that's not all, because for those who don't know, man, I can tell you this. EA has canceled their pre-order deal with Mass Effect 3, which would have included Battlefield 3. So if you pre-ordered Mass Effect 3, you would have got Battlefield 3 for free. They canceled that. And you know what? A lot of people are upset about it, and I understand, because if you have to understand, when they were coming out with Battlefield 3 for the PS3, the exclusive was, if you bought it and you pre-ordered it, you would get Battlefield 1943. And we all saw what happened with that. EA didn't give customers their copy of 1943 that was supposed to be free. And they said, well, if you want it, you know, we're not going to give it to you, but we'll give you DLC for Battlefield 3 a week earlier. You still had to pay for it, but we'll give it to you a week earlier as an apology. But you're still paying them, which makes no sense. Gamers took them to court over it and said, no, you said that this was going to be, because it was a big thing at E3, all right? They said, we want our game. EA was like, well, you're not getting it. They threatened to take them to court, and what happened? EA gave them the game. So now it was the same thing here, but before anything else, I guess they decided we're going to cancel this before it gets any worse. And people who already have pre-ordered the game are mad. And they have every right to be, because they expected to get Battlefield 3. EA is mad. They're screwing with the customers again. That's what they do best, man. But let's keep going. Because of Battlefield 3, gamers have initiated a Battlefield 3 Blackout against EA and DICE. Now, they're saying that, look, the game has a lot of problems, and that they don't have a problem waiting for the patches or DLC or anything else. The thing is, EA and DICE are keeping them completely in the dark on what's going on, and gamers want answers. They just want to know when. They don't, and it says, I know, like I said, it's in the info bar, you know, the entire thing. It's not about, you know, getting it rushed out. They just need to know what's going on, and the company won't tell them anything. So, you know, they're figuring, because it's getting frustrating for them, they're thinking that, you know, maybe it's never coming out. So what they're doing is they're initiating a blackout to show them that they mean business. That's what I'm telling you. This week, gamers have really they've been fed up with it, especially with Mass Effect 3. There's been a number of big-time YouTubers who come on and say, you know what, I'm not buying Mass Effect 3 out of principle. That's right. There's people all over the place saying you should boycott Mass Effect 3. People are upset. I understand, like I said, this is going to become a problem, because if Mass Effect 3 sells really well, and I'm sure it will, because I know there's a lot of Mass Effect 3 fans out there, they could possibly go worse. It can get worse. This could get worse. But gamers, at least I'm happy to see them stepping up and saying, you know what? No, I have some integrity this week. At least this week. All right? But let's keep going. Bioware knows how to cater to their customers. It's funny because a fan sent me this, and I can't show you this because it's a screenshot, but it was too big to put on screen. So the link is in the info bar showing you that Bioware, there's a ton of complaints, all right, about their games, but Bioware has listed those complaints as just average complaints, when apparently they're serious complaints, but they're not taking your complaints seriously. So anyways, that's in the info bar for you guys if you want to see that. Also, speaking of Bioware, a writer doesn't like the games, and gamers call her a cancer. Now, we're going to get into this, all right, because Jennifer Helper, I'll put it like this. I can understand why gamers are upset, and I'll explain, but you can't call her a cancer. Now, I'll put it like this. If what she wants to do does, let's say, go forward and games start doing this, then it can become a big problem. But let's get into this, all right? She subtracts the fact that Helper is expecting a child in the coming months. She's saying that she doesn't have time to play games. It says, therefore, a minimal amount of time is dedicated to gaming. Now, mind you, she goes on talking about how she's a writer and how she never really wanted to write for video games. She just wanted to write, you know, get her name out there and make good stories, because this is what this is about, all right? But let's keep going. It says, she also mentions that she finds it difficult to get immersed in a game that is not complemented by a good story. It says, while I enjoy the interactive aspects of gaming, if a game doesn't have a good story, it's very hard for me to get interested in playing it. Maybe she needs to go talk to David Jaffe. All right? Maybe she needs to. But it says, Helper also seemed to anger some gamers with her suggestion, and check this out, to add a fast-forward button to skip combat in games, similar to the skip button for dialogue in in-game cinematics. What she wants to do is skip I put it like this: skip the gameplay in games so you can get to the story. Look, if you wanna make a movie or something, then go do that. But you're telling gamers to start skipping gameplay in their games. People are upset, and this is what she says. She says the biggest objection is usually that skipping the fight scenes would make the game so much shorter. It says, but to me, that's the biggest perk. It says if you're a woman, especially a mother, with a dinner to prepare, prepare kids' homework to help with, and a lot of other demands on your time, you don't need a game to be 100 hours long to hold your interest. That's the problem today. All right, because gamers want longer games, and they keep giving us microwave gaming. So you can see the divide, what's going on here between a developer or a writer and gamers. All right, so this is already not going to go well. That's the divide. It says, it says, especially if those 100-hour games are primarily doing things you don't enjoy. So why are you playing a game if you don't enjoy it? But let's keep going. It says, a fast forward button would give all players, not just women, the same options that we have with books or DVDs, to skim past the parts we don't like and savor the ones we do. What you're failing to realize, Ms. Helper, is that these games, now that you've made it part of an entertainment like DVDs and books and movies, you have to take it with the entire experience. That's what it is. This is not like putting in your DVD player, like moving your DVD player and going to scene select. It's not like that. No. You have to take it for what it is. They're called games for a reason. Now, I'm not going to sit here and call you a cancer. No, I think that's absolutely wrong. I can understand why gamers are mad. What I do have a problem with, though, is how you go on talking about some, and this is what she fired back on her Twitter. All right, it says, I just figured, and she's talking about gamers, they are jealous, and that I get to have both a vagina and a game industry job. What does that have to do with anything? Your vagina has nothing to do with these games. But look, it's like you want to play the woman card. You really do. But then you say it's not just for women. Then you go and do it again. Like, you can't do that. You really can't, and it's wrong. As far as I'm concerned, I put it like this. You're going to anger gamers when you tell them that they can skip through gameplay. It's almost like you're catering to a market outside of gaming. And that has been the problem. I understand you're going to have your casuals, but at least casuals at times like to play the gameplay. That's the whole point. If you don't like story, then I guess you never played Mario? I mean, seriously, I mean, the princess is in another castle. The princess is in another castle. The princess, I mean, come on. But the gameplay, you go around, you do what you have to do. I mean, I guess if anything doesn't have a story to you, I guess you wouldn't like puzzle games? Because not all puzzle games have a story. Just stick with Catherine, and if that's the case. I'm just saying. But it just doesn't make any sense to me. You're a writer. I understand, from a writing standpoint, I understand that you love to write. But there are other fields to write in if that's the case. That's how I see it. I mean, you can't skip gameplay. You can't. But like I said, I'm not going to call you a cancer. Is this a problem? If this goes through, yes, it can become a big problem if this is something in the future. But you can't skip gameplay. I'm not going to call you a cancer. But I think you are kind of contradicting yourself, to an extent. I'm just saying. Now, we want to move on. Because Bethesda, here's some news for you guys with Skyrim, all right? They knew the PS3 Skyrim had memory issues, but they shipped it anyway to you guys. So they knew the game was messed up. They knew it, all right? But they shipped it to you anyway because they wanted your dollar and then said, we'll give you a fix later. And we all see what's going on as of late with Skyrim and how long it's been taking for fixes and all this problem. No. This is not the way you do business. It's just not. Gamers understand these companies, I'm telling you, They gave you a bad product to start off with, for at least the PS3 version. They knew what they were doing. They knew, all right? But did it anyway. They didn't care. They just wanted that money. And then said, okay, later, we'll fix it later. It's a joke. Anyways, let's move on. Because speaking of bad games and things of that nature, I'm not saying Skyrim's a bad game, but when you know something's wrong with your game, you still ship it, yeah, that's bad business. But hit detection, for those who don't know what hit detection is, it's like a consultant, business. It gives feedback to game developers before anyone knows their games suck. All right, that's what it does. And I'm sure some people have already used it. I think I don't know. I just, as far as I'm concerned, this is how things should go. If you're not, because I'll play this. It seems like these days, testers aren't being respected the way they need to be respected as they used to back in the day so that these games are good. So you have to make some type of consultant agency who just stores testers all over the place so that they can test the games and give them feedback. That's what it seems like these days. I'm for this. If the companies aren't going to spend the money, because we've seen before THQ said we don't use testers. That's why their games suck now. But that's not the point. The thing is, if you're not going to give respect to testers, let those testers have their own, dare I say, tentpole. all right? Have their own place where they can be respected and still do their job. That's what you need to do. And we're going to talk about the tester later down the line, because a lot of you guys have sent me messages about how the tester makes gamers look bad. We'll talk about that later down the line in the future. Yeah, I said it, in the future. So guys, calm down. I'll talk about that later. But speaking about games that suck, all right, because we'll talk about more sucking. Gotham City Impostors, the glitch wipes player data. You guys got back to me a lot on this week, because a lot of you bought the game and then it wipes your data. And you can't do anything. And apparently they have not fixed the issue yet. Now, I don't know what's taking so long to fix the issue, but you really need to get into this. There's no way you can sell gamers a game that wipes their data. You cannot do that, all right? And the thing is, I remember back in the day, a couple old games used to do that. There used to be a glitch or something. You would lose your data. You know what I mean? And people got mad. But we are in a new generation now of gaming. This shouldn't be happening. This should not be happening. That is ridiculous. That problem should be gone. It should be eradicated at this point. But it doesn't matter. Speaking of more suck, all right? Assassin's Creed Revelations single-player DLC has been leaked. That's right, and THQ is looking for help for Warhammer 40K MMO, and we've all seen the financial problems that they're having right now, so I can understand why they're looking, for help. Also, we gotta go back from last week. We talked about David Jaffe and his comments on what he said about Twisted Metal on Valentine's Day, and my stance was, you gotta be an idiot if you're sitting there thinking that that's gonna happen on Valentine's Day, and who the hell is spending time, playing video games on Valentine's Day with their girlfriend, thinking that that's how you're gonna get some head. And you know what? A lot of you guys, I've read a lot of your comments, and we were pretty much in agreement to what's going on here. Well, Kotaku has stepped in and wrote an article blasting Jaffe. All right, not just saying that what he was saying was wrong, but he's misogynistic and things of that nature. They just go after him. All right, and Jaffe actually responds in an interview. And at first, he starts off by saying he was completely wrong. He was wrong for his comments. He's saying that. All right, so everyone who tried to back him last week, yeah, he's saying right now that he's wrong. So who's the stupid one now? I just want to know. But the fact is, he's saying that he's wrong. But then afterwards, he just goes on a rampage and goes off on this interviewer. So let's hear what he has to say, or how he treats people in the business.
I feel terrible about saying it, but nowhere in that sentence do I say the only way you're going to get sex is underhanded trickery. That is your reporter bringing her own fucking agenda to the table, and you fucking know it.
This is her analysis, and she's going a little further than what you said. Perhaps.
And you know what? That's okay if you're writing about sort of benign shit, but when you're basically accusing someone of something really fucking awful...
The last is that a girl or woman couldn't actually win a co-op match on her own. Again, not literally what you said. This is how she's interpreting what you said.
And there are...
She's not the only person to have come up with these things, David. And she's putting this in context. Crude vulgarity that puts men in positions of manipulating women for sexual gain is misogyny.
Dude, okay, first of all, it's not misogyny. Misogyny is distrust or hatred of women. That is misogyny. That's what I'm saying. You don't get to just fucking make up your definition and say, where? Show me that.
So manipulating women for sexual gain, you don't think might possibly be related to hatred of women? You don't think that
or what the fuck are you people? Are you a fucking therapist? Yes, any action that you do, you could travel it down a certain psychosis or psychological path to get to some conclusion. Absolutely. But to say that as a statement of fact and to bold it and to say this is misogyny, you out of your fucking mind, dude. That's Bush League and you fucking know it. And it's her second fucking week or her second day and you don't want to fucking call her out because you feel like it's a fucking bad hire. That's the truth.
She's not a bad hire. She's an excellent hire. Well, and not every story is going to make people happy. And some stories...
Dude, you know what? Give me a break. If you said Twisted Metal is shit, it's not relevant, it doesn't play well, that won't make me happy, but man, it's your opinion. You have a right. To not only call someone something awful like a misogynist, or to imply that they're a misogynist very clearly, but to get the definition of misogyny wrong, and then on top of it to basically get your facts wrong. Where in there did I say the only way to get sex from a woman is to be underhanded and manipulate her? Where did I say that? Never.
She's talking about the tone of the interview and what you're saying in the act of promoting a game. Where do you want this to go, David?
I don't want to go anywhere. I want to go. I'm respecting you because you keep reading shit. I'm happy to be done. Trust me, I'll be done with you. I'll be done with your site. I mean, it's bullshit, dude. It's bullshit. It's Bush League. It's bullshit, and you should be ashamed of yourself. You're a fucking real journalist. I've always respected journalists. That's bullshit. You know, fuck Gawker, man. Fuck you guys. We're done. We're done. Don't fucking write about what the fuck you want, but we're done.
Okay, David.
Completely unprofessional and childish. Don't sit here and tell me that was okay or that's what's cool. He's just saying that way because he's a rebel. He can say what he wants to say. No, he's a 45-year-old man going on 16. And the sad part is 16-year-olds have more common sense and respect than that guy does. All right, don't sit here and tell me that. And don't tell me, Jaffe, that, you didn't expect this to happen. You knew what you said and you apologized for it and then tried to say, oh, well, it's the media trying to look for things and trying to make him look out like he's a bad guy. No, if you'd have watched what you said to begin with, you wouldn't have gave him that artillery, that ammo, but you did anyway. Don't sit here and tell me that that's okay. That is a joke. If you talk to anyone like that, bring that to me, Jaffe. Bring it to me as far as I'm concerned, because you're not going to talk to anyone like that in the real world. You're only talking to this guy like that because he's in the industry. That's what it is, all right? And the whole time he kept his cool and he was trying to talk. God bless that interviewer, all right? Because I lost. There's no way you're going to sit here and talk to someone. Another man will talk to me like that? I don't think so. I don't think so. Where I'm from, no. You're not going to get away with that. See, that's what I don't understand. These guys, I understand he thinks he's Hollywood now and that he's a big deal because of certain games that he's made. But I'll put it like this, Jaffe. There's no way that you treat people that way. I don't care if it's in the industry or not. You show some damn respect for him as a human being. You understand that? I'm not trying to hear he's assassinating your character and all this other bullshit. No, it's wrong. But let's get into this because this is what a fan sent me. All right, it says, I've been following Video's event for a while now. I just want to say, keep up the good cause, man. I want you guys to really listen to this. It says, I'm fully behind you. It says, the new age gamers just don't understand why we old school gamers just can't condone the way the industry is moving, as gaming, for me, is sacred and has always been there and will still be the beat in my heart. It says, I know it sounds radical, but I just want to share with you something really personal that I feel must be said, especially after idiots like Jaffe made a statement about games not being able to convey an emotional tale. And it says in parentheses, what a load of poop in caps. All right, now, it says, see, I've been going through a really rough patch in my life. It says, for almost 2 years now, it's not that bad now, but without going into detail, life at home was unbearable. I was an A student from an 84% in computer science. I dropped to a 54% in 2010, barely passing, but I managed to pull through in my final year in 2011 and obtain my degree. Congratulations. Congratulations, all right? Now, it says, I was suffering from intense depression and at one point even thought about doing the unthinkable. Nevertheless, I remembered that I picked up Legend of Heroes Trails of the Blue for the PSP, and in all honesty, it was the first thing that made me smile. Okay? It says, I cared not for the gameplay, but for the characters and the story alone. We just talked about this not too long ago about characters and story, but let's keep going. It says, I remember this old wife in the game complaining about her flaky husband, and she's going on about him to the protagonist, and it's hilarious, especially when the husband walks in from having an all-night fishing trip. It says all oblivious. It says only to be shouted at by his wife. It says, but that game got me through the toughest of times. It says, when the day I was done, I would close my door and carry myself away from the world better than where I was. All right? It says, and then that's what games are about. It's about escaping reality to a point, and having fun. That's what games have always been about. All right? It's not about ultra-realistic graphics. And I'm happy that he wrote this, so because it really does bring into perspective. But let's keep going. It says, you could argue that I was in denial and trying to escape, but no. All I was doing was finding a rope to hold on to until life became bearable again. It says, games have always done that. It was my friend when I was alone and my companion in the dark. It says, I'm getting married at the end of the year, and I just started a new job as a junior software developer. And as I look back, games are more than what the new Dantes, thank you for coining that, and media think it is. It says, it's not about trophies or kills or violence or hate. It's about emotion and honesty. It's about love and hope. Hope that even when life gets you down, you will be able to get back up again. And even though the industry is rotting, I do believe that every now and then, games like Legend of Heroes will come along and shine light on a lost soul. That's very well said. It says, I actually mailed Xseed. It says, this story, and they replied. It said, it was so cool. It says, we'll support them for the sole fact that their game has helped me so much and they care enough to mail back. It says, please share my story if you can, because gamers should not lose hope in games. It says, times are dark, but there are developers that are fighting for good cause and delivering quality, and he put in capital, quality games. Don't let these industry murderers destroy what you hold dear. It says, just believe because the Tameems and Jaffes and EAs can try and soil gaming. It says, but I know gamers will never stand for that. They will, and it says in caps, make a change. And I'm happy that you said that. I really am. And I thank you for sending me that, that personal story. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to give out the, name or anything, because that's a very personal thing. You know what I mean? Confidentiality. But, guys, you have to understand, this week, gamers have stepped to the forefront. We have other gamers saying, please don't quit, when it comes to these type of things. I mean, this is something, this week has been very weird for me. I mean, it's very odd, because everything, I'll explain later, everything, how it's happened in a row. But I just want to say, gamers, if you've listened to that, really understand that gaming can really inspire you. It really can. It can save your life. These developers don't see that. These publishers don't see it. You know what I mean? They don't care. They just think about money, where we have more of an emotional connection. That's why we love the characters we love. That's why we love the stories that we love. You know what I mean? It's not about hardcore Hollywood explosions and action. Sometimes you just have to be a plumber and jump on some, on some turtles. You know what I mean? I mean, that's how it is. Sometimes you got to go save the princess. Sometimes you got to hold up the Triforce. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to put on a helmet and go into space and fight Ridley. There's just certain things that you have to do. Sometimes you got to be a knight and go after and go get the princess. Even though they knock off your armor, you're still fighting in, in your boxers. It doesn't matter. That's what gaming is about. Sometimes you got to be a space harrier. You know what I mean? Like, let's just get into it. Let's keep going about Jaffe, because, like I said before, even though Jaffe does want to get Hollywood, it does go to show that Ghost Rider's Brian Taylor is in a 7-figure deal with Sony to write and direct the Twisted Metal movie. So Jaffe's getting what he wants. Now, for those who saw my video maybe 2 years ago, very old video, when I told Jaffe to shut the fuck up, yeah, and I said he thinks he's a rock star now because, he made God of War and things of that nature. Well, it looks like he's getting ready to go to the big time. And I said the same thing with CliffyB as well, right? Well, CliffyB has opened his mouth, which is Jaffe's butt buddy, comes out and suggests that light versions of the game, like, say like DS Lite or whatever, a lighter version of the game, they make to undercut used game sales. Cliff, stop. Cliff, no. Understand there's nothing wrong with the game industry as it is when it comes to a sales point when it comes to used games. They've been doing this for 10, damn near 20 years. And all of a sudden, everyone has a problem with it. Nobody had a problem with it before, but all of a sudden you have a problem with it. And that's what really bothers me about the used game sales. I've shown you time and time again with sales figures and numbers and profit margins that the numbers still go in the company's favor, even though used games, it's a blip on the radar. It's barely a blip. They fail to see. They just want to make an excuse so that they can keep gouging you. That's all it is. Like I said, everything they say, every excuse they give, the numbers say differently. So no, they are making big time margins. They are making all this money. I understand if you're maybe a lower, a smaller developer, I can possibly see that. But when you have companies like EA and Epic coming out and saying these type of things, no. All right. Oh, and by the way, Gears of War 3 is coming out with more DLC. So get ready for that, I guess. All right, I guess he needs money. He can walk around in big furry pimp suits, and I showed you that before. All right, in one of the videos, he can walk around in pimp suits, but he needs money. All right, whatever. Like I said, you're not fooling anyone. Anyways, I want to move on. Namco has revealed Tekken Unlimited Tag Tournament 2. That's right. Here we go again. And here's some more stuff, more crossovers and things of that nature. Sega, Capcom, Namco and Banpresto are working on a DS game. Now, for what I'm hearing, it's going to be 3 of them. I don't know, but it's going to be a complete crossover. We'll see what happens, all right? Oh, man. Let's just keep going, all right? Also, here's some news that you guys have been talking about all week. The Vita Street Fighter vs. Tekken is due in the fall with 12 new characters. 12 new characters. Now, they've already asked, oh no, is this going to come out for the PS3 version, the Xbox version? He's like, I don't know, come on now. If this does well on the Vita, you can expect those to come over to the other versions. Come on, this is Capcom we talking about. We know what's going to happen, but you know what, and people are still upset about Mega Man. And you know what, that's fine, because Mega Man fans have actually stepped up. So for you others who haven't seen it, I would love to present to you guys now, Mega Man Unlimited. That looks great, Mega Phil. I have to say, I am looking forward to it. I'm sure a lot of Mega Man fans are looking forward to it due to the fact that if Capcom won't give you guys what you want, then the gamers will. They'll do it themselves. They don't need the companies. Of course, they still have the licensing, you know, Capcom, but come on now, gamers know what they're doing. All right, you can't fool them anymore. Now, I put it like this. We're going to keep moving on because more PS Vita news, guys. There are no plans to bring PS2, that's right, which is kind of shocking, and PS3 games to the Vita. Now, I don't understand why you wouldn't bring PS2 games to the Vita because that's what people have been asking for a very long time. PS1 and PS2 games so they can transfer to their PSP originally. We've seen people hack the PSP so that you can be able to put PS1 and PS2 games on there, all right? But you have a stronger model in the Vita which has more tech, but you're still not going to give people what they want, Sony. What's wrong with you? I understand if you can't do the PS3 games, but PS2 games should be an automatic, all right? It just doesn't make any sense, all right? But let's keep going. Speaking of the Vita, Taco Bell Vita winners, all right, are denied their rewards. You know, I'm sure you know about the Taco Bell Vita contest that's been going on. Well, a lot of people won. They want their Vitas. Now they can't get them because it was due to a code error or something. And people are mad. They have every right to be mad because that's not their fault, all right? You messed up. You have to. It's on you. It's on the company. Give it to them. Give it to them. All right, they went out and bought the crap. I'm sure some people, you know, they were just gonna buy Taco Bell anyway. But I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who bid on this, you know, on this ad, this little promotion, and said, all right, I'm gonna buy Taco Bell, see if I can get a Vita. All right, that's what it comes down to. So give them what they deserve. Seriously. Also, in more news, free-to-play Reign of Thunder is now. It's coming out. It should be fun. I mean, it's a mech game, so you can get ready to look for that. It's almost like Mech Assault. All right, now. It's from at least the developer. So, also, Freeware sequel to Under the Ocean has been announced, okay? Also, Atlas and Sega sign a publishing deal. We'll see where this will go in the future, guys, because, I mean, Sega's doing all these crossovers and things of this nature. We'll see where this goes. But Atlas, having them, you know, to back you up, and Sega, that's a lot of potential. That's a lot of potential. All right, now. Let's keep going. Gamefly acquires Direct-to-Drive and then writes off their customers. Apparently, they consume Direct-to-Drive. And the customers that were getting games from Direct-to-Drive have been cut off. They've been cut off, and they don't care. That's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, but let's keep going. In positive news, The Last Story is coming to North America summer of 2012. So there you go. I told you guys, what, a month or so ago, that it was going to EU first, and then it did well. If it did well in EU, that it will come to North America. Gamers demanding it. There you go. The Last Story is coming. All right. Now, also, Sakurai is done with Kid Icarus, and check this out. He's going to move on to Smash Brothers Dojo. So, Smash Brothers fans, y'all can get ready for that. Also, EA comes out and says that Madden 13 will focus on defense. Really? Look, EA, I don't understand you. So what you're saying is that you weren't focusing on defense before that. That's what you're saying. The last time we saw you focus on defense was in 2005 when you introduced the hit stick that had Ray Lewis on the cover. All right? So you tell me you haven't, you know, worked on defense since then? What's wrong with you? See, and this is the thing. If you didn't work on defense in 2012 or 2011 or whatever, maybe you should have took your time and actually worked on defense before bringing that product out every year. This is why I've said before, I said I did it in a standalone video. This is why you can't have these small development cycles. This is why you should only come out with patches. You come out with the game, say 2013, 2014, you come out with a patch. Then 2015, you come out with a new product. That's what you should be doing, all right? So it gives you time to work on more stuff. Instead, you keep milking these people, and they're stupid enough to go buy it, all right? I mean, oh, God. You need to add more things to your game if you want to do something with Madden. But until you do, we all know that we have, what, Tecmo Bowl Throwback that just came out? Well, now, another football game is getting ready to come out, and it's called Gridiron Heroes. We're going to throw back again, people. Shades of Tecmo Bowl, baby. I play like this. I would rather support that than Madden. I still play Tecmo Bowl Throwback, all right? And regular Super Tecmo Bowl and regular Tecmo Bowl. So I still play them, all right? But you know what? I want to move on because we need to talk about this in more news, all right? Transformers is skipping PC because devs think that a bad port is worse than nothing at all. I put it like this. Why don't you just fix the problem? Why don't you just fix it for the PC instead of just saying, oh, we're just going to be lazy and port it over? No, fix the problems, and then we wouldn't have this problem. So you're going to screw gamers on the PC because you don't feel like fixing problems. Got you. That's the message you're sending me right now. That's what you're doing, all right? Now I want to move on, all right? Bionic Commando dev Grin also worked on a Strider reboot and a Streets of Rage remake. And the link is in the info bar. It's all the videos in there to show you what they were working on before pretty much the stuff got canceled. Okay, guys? Now, also, Obsidian is eyeing a crowdfunding just like Kickstarter did. Now, we talked about this last week, how Kickstarter, you know, they got $1 million from the crowd, you know, asking the community to donate, you know, for a game. Now, Obsidian and other, developers are starting to do the same thing. They saw the big, you know, turnout for that, so now they're going to start asking the community as well for donations. Look, let's not make this a trend, people, all right? Because if that's the case, they'll start begging everyone, and that's not cool, all right? Stick with what you do. Kickstarter did because they had no other choice. That's why they did it. They went, you know what I mean? They went to publishers, and publishers turned them down. That's what happened. Obsidian, it seems like you're just looking, you know, you're just looking to jump on the wagon at this point. No one's turned you down yet. That's what bothers me, all right? Hopefully this does not become a trend. Gamers, this is what happens when they take your kindness for weakness, to try and take advantage of it. Be very careful. I mean, if you think what they're doing is the right thing and you want to donate, by all means, go ahead. But just don't run out there and donate for anything. You have to understand that. Now, let's move on. Because video games are good for your eyes. Apparently, there's a scientific study that says so. All right. So all the complaints we've always heard about eye strain and staring at the screen too much. Apparently, it really is good for your eyes. All right. Now, also here's something. Video games have been interrupted by 2 sadistic sisters, and cruelty ensues. Now, for those who don't know, all right, this guy Joseph. Link is in the info bar for you guys. This guy Joseph, 17, was at home playing video games. All right. These girls call him up, tell him to come over, there's a party or whatever, right? He gets over there, and there's a bunch of people there, and they abuse the shit out of this kid. I mean, they punch him, they beat him up. Why? Because this one girl wants to have sex with him, right? He says no. So what does she do? They make him drink urine, her urine, right? And then they take a pair of pliers, pull on his penis, and then twist it. Yes, and then they kick his ass. Because she was already pregnant as it is, but she wanted him to finish up. She wanted to have twins. 17 years old, she wanted to have twins. Yeah, so she wanted him to come over and finish the job. That's what it comes down to. I don't know what's going on, but this is ridiculous. The only reason this is a video game related article is due to the fact that he was home minding his business and playing video games. And he actually went out in the real world, and what happened? He got beat up. That's what happened, all right? And it's sad to see this, but you know what? Let's see what these 2 girls look like to begin with. And apparently, one of the girls already has a 4-year-old daughter that was crying in the room when all this was happening. You know, it's sickening. It really is, all right? But let's move on. I mean, seriously, I really feel bad for that dude. Seriously, there's no way that should have happened. But here's an update. Super Mario Bros. Crossover 2.0 has been released and is playable for free, all right? It's released now. So, guys, if you're waiting to play it, go play it, please, by all means. Now, I need to talk about this because some of you guys sent some mail. All right, and this is what you said, the way I see things now, event, it says that the publisher issues aren't dealt with in the industry, it will destroy itself the way the comic book industry did long ago. The comic book industry survived after a major restructuring, but hasn't been the same since. And I believe we don't need to go that far to get gaming back. I agree. It's not as bad as the comic industry just yet. It still can be saved. It can get there, but it still can be saved. It says movies have the www.hsx.com and private investors to get funding for a movie and money to put out their products. Mind you, we just talked about how Obsidian was going to start asking gamers, for money, but let's keep going. It says the game industry needs its own stock market and private investors so we can eliminate / cripple publishers and bring us back on track. That's a very good idea. All right. It says, I like what Double Fine did this week. It says, and we need more makers to do the same or better. It says, other than that, there's guerrilla gaming, which I believe has already started. It says GG, as I call it, is when gamers find ways, legal or otherwise, to get and play games at the expense of the publisher and makers due to spite and economical conditions. So pretty much if you buy used or that's what he's saying, you buy used or you get the copy or whatever, any way you can without the publishers getting the money from it, that's what he's calling guerrilla gaming. I actually don't have a problem with that term. I really don't. All right. It says guerrilla gaming is an exodus from traditional gaming and gaming altogether, as you addressed in one of your latest videos. It says, well, in my opinion, it says it'll be what takes the industry out of the comic industry was taken out if the industry doesn't stop fucking itself over for profits. And it's true, because you have to understand that when people buy used games, they don't know what they're getting themselves into at times. You have to understand this is not just about hardcore gamers, all right? When you have a mother or whatever come in, they don't want to pay that $60, you know what I mean? But they see the game for cheaper. They don't trust the developer just yet. They don't trust that person who's making that product just yet. Same thing with kids. They don't trust that person yet. So what they do is they buy the game used, and if it's good, like I said, they develop that trust and then decide, maybe it is worth buying the full product, at full price. You have to gain trust. These companies don't want you to gain trust. They don't want you to have any type of opinion. They just want you to go with what they say. And that's not how things work. You have to understand that, guys. It just seems like these companies, we know they don't care at this point, all right? We've said it time and time again. But they have to show some type of boundary of respect. Without the gamers, they don't have anyone to sell to. This is why they keep pushing the boundaries broader. Like we just saw with Helper. What'd she say? Well, we should make games that you can skip the gameplay so that, that we're bringing a new, believe it or not, we're bringing a new audience of people. And that's what they want. They're not worried about gaming anymore. They're worried about reaching out to more people. Like I say, if you want to make a movie, then go make a movie. Helper, if you haven't played it yet, I would suggest that you try Heavy Rain. I would say that. All right? And that's a great game. And it keeps you, interactive and everything. I know a lot of people didn't like, QTEs. I personally enjoyed it, but that's just me. Now, guys, I need to move on. We need to talk about this. I have some channel changes and announcements coming up. Now, guys, last week we talked. You know what? I don't need this. Last week we talked. And on Sunday, for those who know, I had said, I was thinking about giving it, just stop gaming videos altogether. I got tired of it, because the community, and a lot of people were saying, don't let the trolls get you down. Look, it's not the trolls, all right? Trolls are going to be trolls, all right? They're pathetic as it is. I'm not worried about them, especially after seeing some of the comments I was getting at 4 a.m. in the morning. You know what I mean? Just stupid, childish. If you're a troll on the internet, whether you're young or old, you're an idiot. It's that simple. I don't even understand how that's even fun, all right? Maybe I'm just too mature for that. I don't know. But it's the way I see things, it's not just trolls. It's the community in general. You got all these YouTubers. I mean, we're talking grown-ass men acting a fool. You know what I mean? On here, I'm the man. I'm great. Look. This channel, the way it's built, is built to help you. So when these guys say they're great, I'm actually trying to inspire you to think beyond greater. But they don't want to hear that. They want you to listen to them when they're just saying, this is my opinion, take it for what it is. And then I give you guys links, do I not? So it's not just my opinion. I give you the links so that you can read it for yourself, and whether you agree or disagree. That's what it is. I'm giving you the option. So it's not like the rest of these guys where they give you your opinion. They don't give you anything. So if you don't know anything about the issue, you're pretty much like, I guess I'll have to agree. That's what it is. That's not what I do here. All right? And that's the thing. When I give you these links, It's definitely to inform you, all right? Because you know how it is by now. You go on a forum or whatever, link or it didn't happen, pix or it didn't happen, video or it didn't happen, all right? That's why I give it to you. And don't you know some guy had the nerve to tell me last week that I was wrong for putting links in the info bar for you guys? Yeah, I was wrong for doing that. Apparently, he doesn't want you to learn anything. Like, this is, come on, man. You gotta be kidding me. All right, look, I'll put it like this. Like I said, it's the community. Nobody wants to take it. It almost seems like gamers don't want to grow up. You have a responsibility. And I'm happy to see, I understand all the new people came in from last week, and a lot of you guys said, you know, Joe sent you because, you know, he liked the video. Shout out to Angry Joe on that, all right? I want to say that you have to understand what we do here. We try to respect each other. Like I said, we try to talk civil. And we try, you know, to respect each other's opinion. We can, now mind you, people are going to argue. They are, all right? They're going to argue. Because this is the passion coming out of people. But when you start name calling all that type of stuff, it's just not called for. So I'm telling you now, if you're not that type of person, if you cannot deal with that type of crowd, then please, by all means, unsubscribe now. Understand that we are here to help each other. That's what we're here for. You can be comfortable here and not have to worry about all the other BS going on, all the name calling and carrying on. You don't have to worry about all that. That's what it's about. Just saying, there's a million other channels people can act like that. Some people don't even care if people act that way because they have that, you know, that comment, you know, or that subscription. And I want to talk about this a little bit because a lot of you guys are saying, you know, don't worry about it. Just look at the likes and dislikes. I don't pay attention to likes and dislikes because it's stupid. All right? I really feel it is. The only reason I leave it up there for you guys is because of the fact that you have some type of democratic choice. You know what I mean? Because if I take down the ratings, you know how many things I'm going to get from people? You know, oh, you're not being democratic. You don't care. You know, if people want to say like it or dislike it. That's what it'll come down to. No matter what I do, I'm not going to please everybody. All right? I can get on video and kiss everyone's ass, and someone will still dislike it out of spite. And people are saying, well, it's trolls. You have to understand, you even pissed the trolls off last week. You have to understand it. The new guys who are coming in and trolling, you pissed the old trolls off because I have designated trolls here, all right? They've been following me for a year now. They have sent me messages saying, we're following you and we're going to keep disliking every video you do. Why? Because we can. It goes to show you that those trolls, they're actually fans. No one's going to follow somebody for a whole year, you know what I mean, and do that. They're fans. That's what it is. They're just showing tough love. That's how I see it. That's all it is. Because I put it like this. Even if they click on it and they hit this like button, they still clicked on it. They wouldn't take the time of day. If they really didn't like me, they would not take the time of day to click on a video and dislike it. They have said that they have subscribed to me to keep following me with alternate accounts just to hit the dislike button. So you have to understand, I don't care about likes and dislikes, all right? I don't care about views. I don't care about subs, because this week I had a lot of people say, you know, Event, if you stop doing video game videos, I'm going to unsub to you. And then I had other people saying, you know what, Event, even if you stop doing video game videos, I will support you no matter what. And that tells me the difference between the loyal people and just regular fans. That tells me the difference. That's exactly what it does. Because they're not worried about, you know, just video game videos. They see what I'm doing is actually trying to help. That's what they see. And they're willing to fight to the end. That's what it is. Now, guys, I had said that I was going to stop this. This week, I said I'd take the time to think it over. A lot of you guys sent me a lot of mail about not quitting, keep doing what you're doing a great thing, fuck the haters, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? I had some of you guys send me the Captain America, motivational posters, which is why I'm showing this. I'm showing y'all love today. That's why I wore this today, all right? So this is the only time I've ever actually worn something purposely today. So I want to show y'all thank you for that. Understand, guys, I understand that you want me to stay. And what happened this week, and I want to get into this because a lot of people also said that you should leave and see how gamers react. See if they'll actually pick up the slack. See if they'll, you know, take the torch and carry on and see what happens. Well, we had 3 regulars of our own this week decide they're going to start a website. That's right, they're starting the website, and they said they'll be doing a video soon so that, you know, they can let us know what's going on. I'll be part of it, all right? Because this idea can actually work. They're actually doing something. They're not, you know, dicking around here. They're going to make a website where they can keep gamers informed of all these issues that go on. And that's a great thing that we need right now. And, I mean, seriously, 3 of them doing it, I have every trust in them. I'm sure they can do it. Also, there's more news, all right? Because I said, you know, if I stop doing video game videos, I was going to, I was going to just focus on sports. And I'm liking the reception I got this week for sports. I mean, you saw how serious the issues was and how certain things could be funny. But I mean, with sports, the reason why I said I was going to focus on sports is because, for those who don't know, all right, I was playing this close to the chest, but I'm going to let y'all know now, all right? Because the deal's not done yet. It's not done, all right? You guys have been asking me, Event, when you will get your own sports show. Well, 97.5, the Fanatic, that's right, has approached me. Now, mind you, this is before, remember I did the video about the contest and all that stuff, and I said I didn't care. And this has nothing to do with the contest, all right? They messaged me over the holiday, right? And they said that they were interested in doing something with me, putting me on a show or something. They want to do something. That's right. And the deal isn't done yet. That's why I didn't want to say anything just yet. I wanted to keep the cards close to my chest, all right? But I will let you guys know now. I've had the first interview with them. I still have to have a second interview with them. They just messaged me, they emailed me 2 weeks ago saying that they are still interested. They just want to make sure that I just didn't say, oh, they don't care anymore. You know what I mean? So the sports show is coming along. You got the gamers doing the website. I want to say now on the gaming front, Main Event TV is also going to be in the Middle East. What does that mean? That means I've talked to Middle Eastern gamers. They're going to make a regional show out there just for the Middle East that will be 100%, Arabic. All right? So that's working right now. Also, that's not all. That's right. That's not all, people. There's been a couple of websites, or should I say a website. I'm not going to say who yet because, like I said, deal's not done yet. All right? But they want to do a cross promotion with gaming for, with the gaming videos. They want to write some articles. And some of you guys on the fan page already know about it because you sent them there. All right, you sent them there, so you know what's going on. So like I said, so all these things happen just this week. You know what I mean? Other than the sports thing, all these other things happened just this week, after I announced that I would be leaving. So, for video game videos. So I'm a big believer in, how can I put this? I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason. So because all these things happen in a row, I will stay. Okay, but we got to come to a compromise because I can't do this every week, especially with all this annoyance. It's sad to see all these guys out here who just talk out of their ass and don't give you anything. And they want to, they said they have a good sell job, but it's ridiculous to, the opinions they have because they're not worried about the gaming community. They're worried about themselves and they're worried about being a star. And that's not what this is about here. All right, if I wanted to be a star, I'd go out to Hollywood. I wouldn't need YouTube to do it. You have to understand that. But that's what they're about. And the sad part is people actually follow these people. But you know what? Like I said, you have to be careful. You really do when you're subscribing to certain people. And I understand it's all fun and games, but when this industry is doing what it's doing right now, you have to be educated. That's what it means to be a gamer. Anyone can go and buy a game and then play it and call themselves a gamer. That's not how it works. You have a responsibility these days. So like I said, I'll stay. But we have to come to a compromise. I will not be doing video game videos every week, all right? Especially with the website going up and where you can get information, and I'll still get the fan page and things of that nature. You can still get in contact with me, Facebook, via Twitter, whatever, all right? I'm always there. But you have to understand, I'm not going to do it every week. I'm just not. Especially, and I'm going to talk about this real quick. The documentary, a lot of you people keep asking me about the documentary. Look, it's getting tough because, as I explained to some of you guys in the comments, you have to understand, the companies I was supposed to interview have backed out, all right? So I'm taking it to the streets now, trying to ask people. When I talk to people on the street, they agree with me with what's being said, but they won't go on camera to say anything, meaning they won't talk. So I got the companies that won't talk, and now I got everyday people who won't talk. So now it's like I'm stuck. You know what I mean? And it's not going to be a documentary if I don't have other people talking, all right? So I have to keep constantly getting out there and trying to get people to explain the situation or talk and get their opinions. And it's really tough right now, especially when you're going into bad neighborhoods, high drug area neighborhoods. No one's going to really talk there. They want you to respect their gangster, but they don't want to talk on camera. So it's tough. You have to understand it's tough. So it's still coming, but it's quite tough right now. So, yeah, guys, like I said, I'll stay, but I will not be doing video game videos every week, all right? Maybe every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, I don't know. You know what? Maybe I need to revert back to how the channel used to be. Instead of having something consistently every week, when something gets a rise out of me, I go right at it. You know what I mean? Maybe that's how I need to do things. Because when important information comes out, you guys know I jump right on it. I jump right on it. I don't care. I'll go right after it. You know what I mean? That's just, when you get an emotional connection with certain things like that, it just makes you, it motivates you to do things. So, Yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I had to say. I want to thank you guys for everything this week, and last weekend. It was pretty tough, and it's nice that it's not just the trolls, you know what I mean, or the fanboys. It's not just that, not the new Dantes and all that. No, it's just the community in general that has pretty much brought me down to saying, you know what, this is bullshit. All right, and I know there were some people who were saying, and I want to get this out real quick. I understand I've been ranting on for a minute, but I want to get this out. I understand there's some people out there saying good riddance. So let me get this straight. You want me to leave because you don't like what I have to say, even though it's the damn truth. You gotta be kidding me. All right, you should go kiss my ass as far as I'm concerned. And that's the thing. You gave me the motivation to stay because a lot of you were like, good riddance, let him go. He shouldn't be here to begin with. Really? Well, now I'm going to troll you since that's what you want to do. It's just I'll just do it with truth. You have to understand that. And the thing is, people are like, well, these people actually like what you're saying. They just think that sometimes your speculation is wrong. When have I been wrong yet when I speculated things? Was I wrong with DC Universe? Was I wrong with that? No. Everything that I've told you guys so far has come true, and I also do updates for when these things happen. What happened with Shenmue? How many times have I given you updates on a new Shenmue coming, all right? We haven't heard anything for a while now, but I gave you how many? 2, 3 updates on the lead into that this may happen? I mean, come on. When I think that's something there, I go on my instinct and I say, okay, what can I see? What is this possible? And it's possible, all right? That's the thing. A lot of people were saying, oh, he just wants to leave because of the backlash from last week's video and Jaffe fans. That's not, look, a handful of people is not backlash, all right? You want backlash, go look at those DCO videos. That's backlash, all right? When you have people targeting other people, that's right, when I mean this, targeting other people who were against, at the time, pay to play and getting groups together to go harass them, that's backlash. You have no idea what backlash is here online when it comes to gaming issues. So don't sit here and act like you know what you're talking about. If you don't like what I gotta say, then you have 2 options. You can either not watch the video, or you can do the video yourself. And I would love to see some of you guys do the video because, like I said, I'm trying to pass on the torch. Prove it to me. Prove it. That's what I want you to do. Until one of you can step up and do what I do, then shut up. That's simple. Like I said, you need to have a standard here. That's all it comes down to. But it's okay. Gamers, I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay. With all these things going on and all this opportunity that's opened up this week, like I said, I'll stay. But we have to find a new way around going, go around about doing things. But I really do feel that website can make a difference. All right? It can help gamers. That's what this is about, helping the community. It's not about me. Like I said, it's bigger than me. It's not about the next person or that person. No, it's about all of us staying together and fighting because there's strength in numbers when it comes to the companies. We've seen that time and time again. Anyways, guys, I'm out. I will talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good weekend and y'all be safe. And I will get back to you guys soon. Talk to y'all then.